was going to say in the words of Slade, "It's Christmas," but that wasn't Slade, was it? Who was that? I remember
Wizard.
Wizard. There you go. And I've just seen a Christmas tree behind you, Ian. So very, very festive. I like that. Is that a drawing or a decoration or what is it?
Yeah, it's one of Olivia's drawings.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah, that's decent.
Yeah,
That is.
Yeah.
Is that the tree that you were all dancing around holding hands?
Oh, of course, yeah. No, she's decided to cut her ear off, and she's gonna be the next Vincent Van Gogh.
Well, she is Dutch, half Dutch after all. Good evening, everybody. In the words of the infamous, no longer with us, pop star Pete, merry syphilis and a happy gonorrhea. Da-da-da-da-da-da. He used to love that one. Have we all had a good Christmas, lads?
Yeah, it was nice.
Yes, thank you.
Apart from Kev, who was flooded, the roads have been swept away like it was something from the Bible, wasn't it? Like Noah's Ark.
Spooky with that helicopter about that. Every time I see that, it's always bad news, because it's our rescue. It's because we live so far away from civilization. That's what we see. That we know there's trouble. It's always going to trouble or coming back from trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in the flight path for the air ambulance from this part of Holland into the hospital that my wife works at. So we know when someone goes over. When it goes over, then someone's not very well.
As soon as you hear a chopper, there's problems.
Yeah, they can get
not the one that I ride into town on.
You are a chopper, son. Alan's just gone for a cigarillo, hasn't he? Not that he smokes, of course. Any of his relatives that don't know he smokes, I watch it. Just gone to use the little ladies' room. So we'll buy him a bit of time. So I know you've all been waiting with bated breath. So what have we got here? You can choose Spurs on this day in history. We've got 1964, 2010, or 1997. What are you going for?
2010.
Yeah.
2010. Oh, that's a good one. Seamless link from the Dutch mentioned earlier. Rafael van der Vaart scores twice as Spurs enjoy Boxing Day win at Aston Villa. The Dutch midfielder scores on 23 and 67 minutes to render Mark Albrighton's late goal no more than a consolatory effort for the struggling Midlands outfit. Almost 40,000 people attend the game that sees fifth place Spurs close the gap on Chelsea in fourth to 1 point. Remember that game, boys?
That second goal, Aaron Lennon. God, what a run that was. I think that was from deep inside our own half. And then he ran down a wing and knocked it in to Van der Vaart. And he buried it. Yeah, that was a good day, that was.
Guided it past him. I remember that goal, actually. Yeah, it's good. It's a good finish.
But his first goal as well was a bit special as well.
It was a little chip, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. A little chip. Yeah, beautiful goal.
Yeah.
We were flying.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of teams that are flying, yesterday's game. Bring it up. I've put it in the match.
Was that supposed to be an eagle, Jens?
None of that. It's just me screaming.
some kind of a bird. So we'll start with the team lineup then. Obviously, back to our 3-4-3 yesterday. Sacrificed the extra man in midfield that he had against Liverpool to bring back Lucas Moura in, didn't he? So we got three up top. So we had Hugo in goal, Emerson Royale, and Reguilon at the wing backs. Big Dave on the right of the three centre backs. Big Eric Dyer in the middle, and Tanganga, who came in to give Ben Davies a rest on the left there. Obviously Skip and Højbjerg in the middle, and then Moura on the right, Kane in the middle, and Son on the left. What did you make of the lineup first of all, Jens? Were you happy with the lineup? Obviously gone on the front foot a bit more with it being Palace, or?
I was surprised to see Davies dropped or rested or whatever it was, because he's been outstanding since Conte came in. But I thought Tanganga was solid yesterday as well. So it's nice to see, that we've got people who can step in. As long as most of the big guys are playing, if you just make one or two changes, then we look pretty solid. If you change it whole.
Yeah, parts of the same cog, isn't it now? Like if you take one cog out, the guy that's coming in knows he's doing the same job as the one that he's replacing. And they all seem to know what they're doing now. It's sums of a part of a whole system, isn't it? Which is good to see. So we'll line up wise, as I say. Tanganga came in for Ben Davies. That's probably the only real shock, wasn't it? If you look at the rest of the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wasn't shocked. I was just surprised. It just,
Yeah,
you know, that's
Yeah,
like
you
well, he
missed the
knows
J
what he's
out
doing,
of
but he
Højbjerg.
actually does. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I noticed there's 2 J's. It's a HOJBJ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention BJ's.
That's where my auntie and uncle live in Aarhus, Højbjerg.
Is it a town? Is
Basically,
it? It's the name of a
No,
town.
it's a borough of Aarhus.
So he's like the Alan Devonshire of Denmark, is he? Or something.
Yeah, man. But
something
it basically
like
means
that.
high mountain, which in Denmark is about 10 meters above sea level.
It's just Hoyser Burke. So we'll come around the panel then. We'll start with you, Kev. Hugo, what did you make of Hugo yesterday?
Birthday boy. Wow.
Birthday boy, yeah. Was he
Yeah.
34 or 35?
35,
I think,
yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah.
He's got a few years left in him yet. He's a bit sprightly. Mind he's had to work for the last few games. He's saved us from many occasions. I must admit, he's been diving about a lot.
He deserved a rare quiet day yesterday, didn't he? Then.
Yeah. There's a couple of tip overs, but his distribution is better. There was one scary one, I think, in the first half. But
Yeah, dear. We'll get on to crossing later, Cody. As Emerson Royale discovered the ability to cross, didn't he, yesterday?
Yeah,
he did. Seamlessly linking on then to Jens Emerson Royale yesterday.
I thought he was brilliant. All that I've been hearing over the last few months since he joined us and since he's been playing regularly is that he can't attack. I don't think I ever really, I don't think that I saw that. I thought that he was always pretty lively. Maybe his end product wasn't good enough, but yesterday he looked brilliant, and I was very happy with it.
He did. I said to Jens on not private, on WhatsApp earlier. Surprisingly, the Sun gave Emerson 5 out of 10, and said that he was given a torrid time by the Palace left back. I was like, You be watching a different game. Were you watching a different game to me?
Yeah.
I thought he was outstanding yesterday.
Who was the Palace left back?
Exactly.
Mitchell. Some young man called Mitchell.
Yeah, Tyrese Mitchell. Yeah.
I thought he was great. In fact, on a couple of polls, I clicked him as my man of the match. I thought he just shaded it from Mora and Skippy, to be honest.
No,
my
I think
man of the match.
I'd definitely go for Mora.
I must admit, I did like that Mitchell though. He did do I think he defended well against him. I know he Mora got the crossover for the thing, but he did seem to win a lot of challenges. That Mitchell, to me.
It was telling that first 20 minutes we were sat deep. I don't know if it was deliberate to try and preserve energy, but the wing backs were sat quite deep next to their centre backs. Yeah. And the second half, when they came out, you just saw them, they just pinned high up the pitch in line with Sonny and Kane. So obviously something changed at half time, but I don't know if it probably was deliberate to save a bit of legs and save a bit of energy, considering we were playing 2 in 2 days pretty much, weren't we? So that brings on to Kev. Do you want to talk about Big Dave yesterday? Big Davinson Sanchez. What do you thought of his performance yesterday?
He's Marmite, isn't he? You either love him or you hate him, but he's been putting in a few performances lately. He's pretty cute with what he done with Crazy Eyes. You know, I think he knew he was
Crazy Eyes killer.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He knew that I'd wind him up one more time and he's off. And that sort of what did I do? You know, did I really do? You know, pretending he didn't do nothing, but I think he knew he was getting him sent off. You know,
both incidences were with Big Dave, weren't they? Both of his bookings,
yeah.
Apparently, a few of the boys in the shelf side said that Zaha was biting with the crowd all day. They were like. He was talking to the crowd and piping up, and he just wasn't with it at all. Wasn't focused at all. But they wound him up really easily, and he just bit far too easily, didn't he? When he'd been booked, you think he's going to get a second booking for diving because he was just froze himself all over the place. As soon as he got booked, he was in trouble, wasn't he?
As a 29-year-old, seriously, why? As a 29-year-old professional football player, why are you getting wound up by stuff like that?
Yeah. That's why he's still at Palace. Someone's tweeted out earlier, didn't they? A picture of him. This is why you're 29 and you're still at Palace. His temperament.
I don't think anyone would want to buy him now, would they? He's a liability, really.
To be honest with you, Kev, when there was talk of him coming to us, I kept hoping we wouldn't get him. I've never
seen too many of that.
I don't see him have enough. I don't see him have enough good games.
Yeah.
Against someone else.
We're praying for you, Scotty.
Nick, did you want to take on Big Eric Dyer then? Well, not literally take him on.
Take him. Do I want to take him on? Well,
Like a silverback bent over, ready to take him on. No, did you want to discuss Eric Dyer's performance?
yeah, I mean, Gaz was saying yesterday, singing the Eric Dyer song. They haven't
Haven't
been
heard
sung
that for a while. Yeah.
And he's turning more and more into, not pinging the balls left and right and taking up that kind of out of era role that we've kind of been lacking. And yeah, just another solid performance. There's nothing really, that you could say that he didn't do anything. He obviously didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything, but he was pinging those balls that were kind of setting Emerson free and setting Reggie free. And, I lost count of how many times, those balls were going either side. So
we said when we were walking from the car, didn't we, that it's good that he got his error out of the way in a victory, sort of in a game where we went on to win it and it wasn't too costly. It's a little reminder to him to concentrate a bit more.
yeah,
But it was sort of hidden in the middle of a victory in the cup game, so it was good in the way that he got it out of the way in that game, wasn't it?
yeah, body shape and posture. Is that what we were talking about?
That was it. Yeah, I was saying to him, I was watching a coaching video the other. That was more to do with Big Dave though, Davinson Sanchez. Balance and
MC
body,
Hammer.
yeah, balance and body shape. They were saying when you're defending, you've got to have good balance and good body shape and posture. And Davinson Sanchez, that's why he miscontrols it and mishits it a lot, because his body shape's not ready to receive the ball and he's not in good balance. And after I said that, we just kept noticing he's never got good posture and he's never got good balance, has he, Nick?
No.
Not to be too critical of him, but it does make me laugh when you see people raving about his performance. I thought he was an absolute clown again, but
I don't think it was that bad, but yeah, nothing to write home about.
no, yeah. We'll get on to that. I actually haven't got that as a talking point, Cody, so we'll talk about that at the end of the player reviews. Cody's asking about Gio Lo Celso, Gio Lo Signot, as he's calling him. Although some of the reporting of it was quite sensationalised, wasn't it, though? What Conte actually says was that he was doing the warm downs exercise after the game and he felt his injury, a bit of fatigue in his injury. So as his pre-existing injury, so they decided to rest him from the squad for this game. So it wasn't as bad as some of the journalists have made out. He didn't get injured in the warm-up. He was just feeling his previous injury a little bit. So they decided to not risk him.
What is the previous injury?
The one he picked up for Argentina.
Yeah.
I think it's
No,
a
it
calf,
was.
isn't it? I think
It's
it's
a
a calf
calf,
injury. Yeah. So it's a muscular injury. So he was feeling a bit of. He's been doing a lot of extra work to get fit for Conte ball, and he was feeling a bit of fatigue in the injury. So they decided not to risk him for the Palace game.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I hope that answers your question, Cody. And some of these reporters were saying Lo Celso injured again, but it's the same original injury. It's just aggravated it a bit. He's the only player. Right, where do we get to? We got to Tanganga, didn't we?
Dave.
So, Big Al, you get Tanganga. What did you think of Tanganga yesterday, Big Al?
I thought he played quite well on the left side. I thought he stood in well. He won quite a lot of balls, and I thought he played really well.
It was odd again. We were saying to do with body shape and posture, weren't we, Nick? Because he's a right-footed player on the left. Would it be easier for him to sweep it out to Reguilon quite easily? But he kept stopping and first 20 minutes just playing it back into Eric Dyer, and he wasn't really taking many high-risk balls out to Reguilon or into Sonny. He was just coming back inside to Skip and Eric Dyer. But he settled into the game, didn't he? After the first 20 minutes.
He went down the left and helped with Reguilon, didn't he? Quite a bit. He was going down the left-hand side, helping out.
Cody says he's the only player Conte hasn't improved yet. Is that Lo Celso, Cody, or Tangangster?
Yeah, I think it's. I think
Cody Bailey as well hasn't improved.
We'll talk about Dembele earlier. We had a bit of a laugh at his expense, didn't we? We could say when he say Winks was stripped down, ready to come on, and one of the coaches went over to Conte, and then suddenly he put his top back on, and then. And Dembele was there, wasn't he? And we were saying, imagine the conversation with his coaching staff, like, we putting Winks on then, Gaffer? No. Bring me the fat one. He runs today. Get the fat one on. He didn't look up for it at all, did he?
Is Conte now an Arab?
To be fair, my Italian accent was all right yesterday, but that was quite dodgy.
Goldie looking chain, Cody, or
Goldie looking, yeah, GLC. Jens, you're back with Region, as we call it in my household.
I didn't think he had one of his better games yesterday, but he was still pretty solid. I don't really recall anything special from him, but Palace put us under a bit of pressure, and I think he defended quite well. He didn't get forward quite as much, from what I can remember.
He's a bit pissed with Moura after he snicked a couple of balls off him. He could have put him in the back of the net.
He was very pissed with Moura.
Are you ready for my Spanish impression? After the second one, he was like, "Uno, dos, tres." He's moaning at him, like, "Un, dos, tres, chances." He got in the way of him again. One thing I have noticed, that Conte's improved about Region already. When he receives the ball on the touchline, in the olden days, he just tried. If he had a man marking him, he'd just run straight into trouble. And you notice he's taken that first touch inside into the channel now. I don't know if you notice, the opposite. I'm probably giving an opposition teams a little heads up there. But if you've noticed him since Conte's come in, he's taken a little touch inside and running at the defence inside rather than on the outside. So he's making inner laps rather than outer laps, which he wasn't doing before Conte came. So obviously Conte is the wing back whisperer, isn't he? So he's ideally placed to teach him the role of wing back. But yeah, he had a good game, Reggie. He could have had a couple of good chances to score, and if Lucas Moura hadn't tried doing extravagant volleys when they got to the back post. Kev, you get Skippy then. You lucky person.
He's a machine, isn't he? He really is. But I don't know. He just seems he's Duracell bunny. He just goes and goes and goes, and he just keep running with a smile on his face all day long. I like him a lot. Shooting ain't so fancy, but it'll come. But
we said that after he took that first one on and absolutely boofed it. There was a couple of times he could have had another couple, and he thought, "No, after that first one, I'm not trying it."
All the crowd were going shoot, and he kind of looked and he thought, "No, better not." After that first one, he sort of passed it, didn't he? But you made a great point there, Kev. His attitude's brilliant. If he gets fouled, he just gets up and gets on with it. If he fouls someone and the ref gives a foul, he just jumps up, helps the opposition player up, and gets on with it, doesn't he? He's got a great attitude.
He can get in and do a bit of damage as well. Not in a nasty way, but he knows he gets in a lot of blocks, and he don't mind taking a bit of the man as well. On the quiet, shall we say?
He does remind me a bit of a young Roy Keane. He's similar, and he box to box, gets stuck in competitor. So
I think it was a lot more attacking yesterday.
Yeah,
he gets that then when Højbjerg's there.
I think that might be because they went down to 10 men. They went down 10 men early though as well, didn't they?
Yeah. But Skip for me. It was between Skip, Moura, and Royale man of the matches. I thought Skip was superb.
Yeah.
And he got his own song sang.
I think Conte has taken a lot of the mistakes that the players were making and confidence.
Yeah. He got a song, didn't he, yesterday, Nick? To the Rafa van der Vaart one. Na 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 na. Ollie, Skip, Ollie, Skip, Ollie, Skip. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, Kev, but you have frozen.
Frozen, as usual.
Again, Kev, technical errors,
but we can hear you.
That's the disdain that Kev feels for that Ollie Skip song.
I was going to say, we really need some songwriters.
It's like, I don't want any part of this nonsense. I'm pretending my screen's frozen.
Yeah.
Unless he's had another flood or something, it's going to come one of his special effects, like a flood water come flying in over his head.
Talk to us.
So you still there?
Am I here?
You're there. You're there.
You're moving and we can hear
every
you.
fucking where. Right, who gets Large Hill then? Højbjerg. Is it you, Jens, or you, Nick?
I did Reggie.
Who did you do? You did Reggie. Like yeah, so Nick, you get Højbjerg with a Jameson. Højbjerg.
Højbjerg, as we've called him tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think another, obviously good to see him and Skippy back alongside each other. It gave a lot more in terms of, I guess, there's that confidence that we were talking about a few weeks ago, where, the defence and it kind of feels that plugs that gap between defence and attack. So, yeah, another solid game. Nothing, it wasn't, again trying to get the crowd up for it. And that was, it wasn't any hiking. And then, so just, it wasn't like, it got kind of a bit like Dyer. There wasn't anything really to shout about. It was just another solid performance. And it was almost, again, Skippy overshadowing him, but he was still doing what we need him to do, if that makes sense.
It was great, the bloke behind us, wasn't it, Nick? When Højbjerg hit the beautiful 40-yard pass round to Sonny's pass, he put a bit of backspin on it. And when he clipped it, the bloke behind us, Højbjerg, you're fucking useless, that's fucking shit. And it dropped straight onto Sonny's foot. And we all sort of looked around him, and Reggie was up there as well, and he's like, you should have passed it to Reggie. He tried covering himself.
Yeah.
Nice try, mate.
I turned around to that bloke and I said, did he have a shit Christmas day or something? Because he was talking all game.
He was moaning.
And his missus went when he was working yesterday, and I was like, all right, looking now.
You always get one.
I said it's a season of goodwill to all men, apart from Højbjerg, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he was just going on at everyone, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He's been there before. He's the guy that I mentioned on the podcast before that was having a go at Oliver Skip, saying how shit he was and get him off, and he's crap and he's not good enough.
What is it? Wherever you get your season ticket, you've always got some bloke behind you who's a complete muppet.
You know what? When I was sat there yesterday, I was thinking, that sounds like the guy that used to sit behind me, when I was in the Shell side.
Done, Kyle Walker.
Yeah, it must be the same fella, yeah. It must be the same fella. He's just following me around. You do always get people like that down there. Yes, we do. Where does Arthur sit, Kim? Is he in the Shell, in the South Stand? Is he in the White Wall? Or I think we have asked before, haven't we?
Was that to me?
No, Kim in the comments. Her dad's got a season ticket. I just wondered where he was. King Arthur. So that takes us to the man of the match then, Alan. You get Lucas Moura, 2 goals and an assist and a sort of basketball slam dunk.
Definitely deserved it as well. I've noticed with him a lot more recent since Conte. He's starting to pass more, getting his head up a little bit more. He's not trying to take it that one extra man on. He's looking up more to see where he can get that pass off. And yesterday, electric. He was absolutely electric. He's just
the pace for that first goal, because when Royale just clipped it into his running lane, it didn't look like he was going to get there. I thought, we were moaning, weren't we? And we were like, he's under hit that pass, and then suddenly, he's not only got there, but he's passed it first time into Kane, isn't he?
I was worried Kane weren't going to get the speed he's been playing at lately.
Yeah, that was the biggest worry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with Moura as well, he's turning his 2 out of 6 games into 3 or 4 out of 6 games now. It's not. It's gone the other way, so it's good to see that we're not going to have the 2 out of 6 game. He's the last 2 or 3 games he's played really well.
Yeah, it's end product, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what Conte could have done with Lamella? Because Lamella was quite similar, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he always used to try and take that extra touch.
But it's all one touch, that first goal, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the second goal, he sort of had a sort of amazing little dribble. Then he received the ball on the halfway line, took it past a few people, and then got on the end of his pass out to.
He jumps like a salmon.
Emerson,
yeah.
Slam. It was like a slam.
That's what annoys me when you get substituted off, because then you're leaving yourself open for set pieces against you, because he can defend them and he can attack them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
It was quite interesting yesterday that a lot of people said during the summer that we should sign Joachim Andersen.
That's what I was going to say to you. That was the guy that he jumped over off top of, wasn't he?
Exactly. And also for the first goal as well. He completely skinned him. He had an absolute nightmare yesterday. So I'm kind of glad we didn't.
But the thing is, when it comes to defending like corners or set pieces or anything, the defender's always going to be more static, so it's going to be harder for him to climb compared to someone like Moura who's on the run. He's got the speed to elevate him.
I said that.
Neither of them were set pieces, though.
Yeah.
So.
I said
but the ball come. What I'm saying is, he was the last defender when the ball came over from Moura. he wasn't actually in Mora's pass where he was running with the ball, so he could have like jumped and headed it over.
Yeah.
He was more static.
Yeah.
I said to Nick yesterday, I play centre back, and once someone's got a jump on you like that, and it's over your head, you've got no chance. They're just going to come straight through you, and it's difficult to defend that ball because they've got such a run on you and a jump, especially with the jump that Lucas Moura's got. He's like Jens said, he's like a salmon, and he jumps up.
I had a bit of a fest today watching all the various different angles of that goal, of the head of the goal. One from picture from the centre spot looking towards the goal. It was immense. It was an immense jump, and he just smashed it. It was a joy to watch. It really was.
And the good thing as well that I noticed when watching it back is that Royale had obviously crossed it, and Reguilon was behind Moura as well. He'd got right into the air, hadn't he? That's another thing that Conte's brought in when Reggie's crossing it. Royale's often in the air, and on the back post now. We weren't doing that, were we? We were not creating any chances. Those poor wing backs, they've got to cover a lot of grass, haven't they? Got to get on the end of crosses, get back and help the defenders.
I mean, to be honest with you, we weren't even that active with their wing backs when we had Poch and when you had Walker and Rose. They might be in the vicinity, but they never seemed to get as involved, did they?
No, they never got on the end of things, did they? Really?
No, it was always crossing, wasn't it?
Yeah. So in answer to Kim's comment, that's right where we are actually. We're in the white wall, but next to the curvy bits. I'll have to have a look to see if I can spot Arthur next time. If he's quite he's probably the next block to us, I'd say.
I'm even closer to the curvy bit, aren't I? So.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
If I ever get over again.
Yeah. You'll be right, mate. Should be right. You'll be back.
Yeah, that way.
Back around again to Kev, aren't we? So Harry Kane. What did you make of Kane's performance yesterday?
In parts, he was playing a lot deeper, but he struck me, hit me again yesterday. Some of the balls he played, he was Glenn Hoddle in disguise. He's fired them 40, 50-yard balls. He'd look up and ping, He's getting very good at that. Whether he should be doing that, I don't know, because I prefer him up front as a spearhead, But when he does play them balls, cross-field balls, he sees the spot and bang, it's over players. And it's unplayable when you get it like that, when you're hitting it on someone's on the run, He's got such vision, that man. It's untrue. His attitude seems to be a lot better as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's never a bad thing if he drops deep, Kev, because if he comes deep, then one of the centre-backs has got to go with him, and then you've got Son and Moore that can play in those little gaps that the centre-backs are vacated, so helps us on the counter-attack. So, they're damned if they do, and damned if they don't. If they follow him out, it leaves space in behind. If they don't follow him out, he can get on that ball and play those hard-less passes, like you said. And he's got a hell of a shot from range as well, and like you saw the other day, hit those 2 35-yarders, which were tipped around, but he'd had a stinker, apparently.
I nearly give my missus a heart attack when he scored. Screamed and shouted, and Mrs. wasn't expecting me to jump up, So it fit the life out of her because she was just pleasantly watching something on the quiet on the computer, So
you're right.
Yeah.
As Cody says, Kane's reversal of play was unreal yesterday. He's just so silky. He's great to watch, isn't he? And you get these idiots who support other fans who say he's just like a poacher in the 6-yard box. They don't really watch him every week.
He's a one-season wonder, isn't he? So,
Similar to Skip, they don't appreciate how good Skip is, do they? Yet they see a few highlights on Match of the Day of a youngster running around, but they don't understand. Obviously, we watch him every week, and we can see the potential that the guy's got.
Well, I think Liverpool fans are still going on about that foul, aren't they?
Oh, mate, that's one of my talking points later. Is it day 7 or day 8? And they're still going on about it, Alan, aren't they?
Yeah.
Klopp's having a moan at Burnley today, though, wasn't he? Because they haven't got any internationals, so it's unfair that they've got to play all these games. You can tell he's moaning because his mouth.
Has he moaned about that bloke breaking the Leicester player's leg yet?
Well, no, because none of the bloody reporters ask him about it, do they?
Right.
No, of course they don't. Pereira, right?
He actually did break his leg, then he's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
8 weeks,
8 weeks out, But that just doesn't fit the agenda, does it? Hard done by Liverpool. As they say, ashamed of nothing, offended by everything. That lot.
Yeah.
It's all mind games as well, isn't it, with him?
I mean, he's just a prat, to be honest. So, Jens, you get Sonny. My man, Sonny.
Yeah, I thought he played well, looked lively. got the goal. I don't recall too many other chances that he had, but to be honest, I was cooking at the same time as watching the match. So
Crystal meth.
Cooking.
absolutely, yeah. No, I was smoking. No, I was making a roast dinner. So I think he looked lively, he looked happy, and that makes me happy. When Sonny's happy, makes me happy.
Yes, poor old Liverpool. The Spider-Man thing was a bit cringe, wasn't it? Like 5 or 6 of them all giving it the old when they scored the goal.
I wonder what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the relevance.
Haven't you noticed our social media feed for the last 2 weeks that since they found out that Tom guy who plays Spider-Man's a Tottenham fan?
I don't subscribe to Spurs official.
No.
I gave up on that a long time ago.
They're flogging a dead horse, mate. Every other day, it's like Spider-Man stuff, isn't it? They're interviewing him. They're doing at half time yesterday. They did an interview with him and Sonny, like saying who's going to be the Hulk and who's going to be Captain America. And yeah, they're flogging a dead horse for that one. I love it, mate.
I think. Sorry, boys. I got interrupted by a funny phone call. I think just on Sonny. I don't know whether we jumped. I just think I'm glad he got his goal because he was looking. Obviously, it seems like he was the worst effective with COVID. You were saying that, LJ, yesterday. And I just think there's a bit more of a nasty side about him that Conte's brought in because he was arguing with the ref. He wasn't just taking what the ref was saying. He was having a bit of niggle with the ref. So and the officials with that penalty or handball or whatever it was. So yeah, I think that's helped him. But yeah, I'm glad he's got the goal, and hopefully him and Kane will be banging the goals in left, right, and centre from now on. So.
Absolutely. Big Al, you get the substitutions there. Stephen Bergwijn for Kane. Now, Conte said in the press the other day that he thinks Stevie can play up front, doesn't he? Because and I said to Nick, he's got that fat ass, hasn't he? He's actually probably the strongest one of Moura and Sonny in that.
I thought you were talking about my ass.
No, not at the time. Not at the time. That was 5 minutes later. But yeah, he's got that a bit more strength than Sonny and Moore, hasn't he? So I think what Conte means is he can play with his back to the ball a bit easier and bounce off centre back. So what did you think of his performance? Because he played up front when Kane went off after 62 minutes, wasn't it? So he had half an hour up front yesterday.
I think he looked pretty lost. He didn't seem to be as effective. He didn't seem to be doing too much. You know what I mean? He seemed to be running into players again, and it wasn't the one we see against West Ham. That looked like he could find space, do this, do that. He looked like he was back to getting lost in the middle of everything. But I think the game had been won. I don't know whether we really pushed to get anything else after that, really.
You know what? He actually convinced me yesterday that he can play that role. I think the few times where he did get pinned by the centre back, he held him off and set the ball quite nicely. His movement was good. So I think Conte, I don't know if he will have time to mould him into a forward with the potential for him leaving in January. But if needs be, if we don't get a new striker, and I think Stevie's being primed to play that, backup striker to Harry Kane.
To be honest with you, John, when you're at a game, you do see so much more.
Yeah, camera follows the ball, doesn't it? So yeah.
Whereas when you're watching on TV, you just miss certain little bits here and there, and sometimes it's hard to pick up. I mean, I've been at the ground and I've seen players have a terrific game, and I've come back and seen Twitter ripping them apart, and I'm thinking, was I at the same game as you? So as perhaps I missed some bits that. Not being there.
Yeah. I thought I saw a few little glimpses yesterday to see it. Well, to at least see what Conte meant when he said Stevie could play up front. We thought it was a bit crazy when he said it, but I can see what he means now because he's got that big fat ass and he can pin defenders a bit easier than, and he's got the pace as well. Only that little yard of pace. Whilst we're on the subject of the subs, Mr. K says, is Conte testing Dele or playing him because of his skills as part of a Conte rotation plan? I guess we'll find out tomorrow, Mr. K, if he features against Southampton, won't we? Because Winks and Delhi played well against Liverpool, didn't they? And I guess it's their turn tomorrow, isn't it, to see. It seemed to be the plan to play Højbjerg and skip against West Ham and Palace, the London derby. So maybe his plan is to bring in Delhi and Winksy against the less competitiveness of a non-London derby tomorrow. We'll find out, I guess, won't we? Let's take that off there. So, Kev, you get Brian Hill. What did you make of Brian Hill's cameo last week? He got 15 minutes yesterday.
He didn't do bad. He's one for the future. He's a bit of an enigma at the moment. He does offer a lot. It's just maybe he knuckle down, stays with the team, and takes his proper chance when he gets it as a start, you know. But as a bit player, he came on and done something different. That's what I'd like to see.
He injected some pace and enthusiasm and energy into the team, didn't he, when he came on yesterday?
Yeah,
what he's good at is first time passes. He doesn't hold, like we were saying about Lamella and Moore. They hold onto the ball too long. One thing that Brian Hill's learned, obviously early in his career, is when to release the ball. And
it's Gaza.
It's Gaza, is it? He's played some good chances. He played some early balls, and he's got a good eye for a pass. That guy, I tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much football he's going to get now that we're not in the Conference League. So it might be worth sending him out on loan. I wouldn't send him back to Spain though, because he obviously knows the Spanish game already. What he needs to do is get used to the physicality of the English game. So, would you send him to the Championship or another Premiership team or
another Premiership? I reckon. Send him back to Spain. He might never come back ever again. I think that's one thing. You probably think, I prefer to stay here than back in mucky North London.
Maybe Norwich. They're struggling at the bottom. They need players, don't they?
Yeah, but that's a different ask, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You're not going to see a lot of the ball there. It didn't do Skip any harm, did it? But I guess they were in the Championship at the time, weren't they? So they were dominating possession, and he was getting involved quite a lot.
Yeah, just a wipeout now, aren't they? At the moment,
waste of time. Who is bottom? So Norwich are bottom, and then who's second bottom and third bottom?
Newcastle, I think. Newcastle, Burnley.
There's talk of them in the papers today getting Gareth Bale, isn't there? That's one of them big marquee signings. They're trying to get Gareth Bale from Real Madrid.
£500,000 a week. It's like
nothing to them, is it?
Well, it wasn't that long ago. Sorry, it wasn't that long ago that they saying Newcastle only had 50 mil to spend.
Can they afford to risk going down though, Big Al? That's the problem.
Well, they're 1-0 up against United at the moment.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's good.
The mere threat of them getting linked with Gareth Bale and Brian Hill is enough to make them beat Man United, is it? Mr. K says Hill could go to Brighton or Newcastle. Brighton would do well, wouldn't they, Mr. K? To play good football.
Yeah.
Newcastle, and
the language problem out there is probably against him.
Can you imagine the culture shock as well, Kev, going from fucking Spain to London to Newcastle? Norwich is not much better, is it?
No.
That's a bit warmer in Norwich.
Brighton's a bit warmer. It's nearer to Spain, isn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
And last but no means least, Jens, you get Tanguy for hobby.
He did
Bring
nothing.
me the fat lad. No, he didn't, did he?
He did
Couldn't
nothing.
be bothered to run.
His days are numbered. We know that he wants to go. It's just if we can get rid of him, who's going to want to pay his wages?
He put out that Instagram post with Roberto, the translator, the other day, and it was kind of a thank you to Roberto. So I was saying to Nick and Gaz, I think that was a thank you because I'm going kind of thing. So the help he's given him in the last 3. He's been with us 3 seasons now, hasn't he? So yeah, Roberto, he's a translator that the club use. He speaks Spanish, French.
That bloke's been.
He speaks Italian as well. My old company, we used to do some work with Roberto's company. So he's a really nice guy. He said to me that he'd get me into the players' lounge and stuff. I'll never end up ringing him when I was up there though. So I've still got his number on my phone. But he's a really nice guy, Roberto. I think he speaks like 5 or 6 languages.
Mm-hmm.
And so his official title is the player liaison officer. So whenever a player comes into the country doesn't speak English, he has to help them settle in, find them hotels, and help them find a house, and just basically tail them for a while to make sure they settle in. And I know Tanguy rates the help he's given him quite highly.
Mm.
All the guys loved Roberto. As I say, the top guy. He was actually on the Amazon documentary in the meeting that they had with Levy, and there was Tang guy. We had this crisis meeting. Roberto was in there as well. They were discussing ways they could help.
Was it Alexander?
Sorry. No, it's not. It's not Roberto Alexander. Jesus, imagine if he was taking people under his wing. They'd be like an alcoholic mess in fucking 2 weeks, wouldn't they? On the tenants extra. Oh dear. Right, and that leads us to the end of that game then. So Spurs talking points. It's round to you then, Nick, for the first talking point here. Palace, what the fuck were they playing at? I mean, after all of that, they made one change to the team that they played 10 days ago. So they had one player different, and they named a squad of 17 yesterday. How the hell are they trying to get that game called off of any good grace? If clearly they were trying to play the COVID card.
Like you were saying, it was Christmas Day. They thought no one's going to be working. Let's just put this in. Vieira, a couple of backroom staff. They didn't name it. They didn't name it Vieira as being one of them probably until quite late, because again they didn't want to make a big thing of it because they knew we'd jump all over it. And it's just embarrassing. Almost, it's on a par with Burnley not turning the undersoil heating on. It's on a par with them, with kind of Leicester and all of them just trying it. Even Leicester. I mean, they only had 2 of them with COVID, and the rest were injuries. So they played it and got away with it. And I think now they've brought the rules in that, like you shared with us when we were talking about it the other day, is the fact on Christmas Day we were talking about it late in the evening. Yeah. It's just making a mockery of it because, again, it could have been a situation where if more and more games are getting called off,
and
then
it disadvantages us, doesn't it?
It affects us. But like we said, they tried to play the COVID card. I think Levy's the unofficial COVID board. So it goes. We were talking about this on the way out the stadium. So if it benefits Tottenham, then it benefits Tottenham. If it doesn't, then we're not going for it. And if they want to appeal, there's no right to appeal because Levy's on the appeals committee as well. So
we said the appeals committee is Steve Hitchin and Paratici, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we have to give the Premier League some credit here for being strong with them as they were with Chelsea? Chelsea obviously said they had 7 out, but like we know, they've got about 47 players signed on, haven't they? A lot of them, if they choose to loan them all out and send them here, there, and everywhere. But they've been quite strong with a couple of teams, haven't they? Obviously, I think they're giving people one strike on there. They're letting them get away with one, but if they think they're taking the piss, they're actually being quite firm. Well, everyone was obviously complaining on social media, but there was no. If there's nothing to say, there's nothing to say, is there? Like Tottenham didn't have the game's still on. The Premier League, as far as they were concerned, the game's still on, so there's no announcement necessary. But would it have helped fans? Well, the stadium was probably 2/3 full only yesterday because of the that tweet that the Palace journalist put out saying that the game was off. People needed to set off by a certain time. They were waiting for Tottenham to tweet something out. They were waiting for the Premier League to put out an announcement, and they left it too late and they couldn't go there and whatnot.
Has anyone seen any other tweets, or has Levy put a hitman out on him for?
Well, that's actually my next talking point, but we'll go around the rest of the panel first. We'll go clockwise. So, Big Al, what did you think of Palace? Do you think there should be any punishment for them? Because they've obviously taken the piss there, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I said to you, was it Thursday or Friday night when we had the last chat, that I heard the Palace game might be off. But the only person that was it their goalkeeper. The only one that it affected, Guaita?
I think so, yeah.
I think that was the only one it affected. And they've got, they only had 5 or 6 on the bench. But they still had enough players to play. When it comes to Chelsea, teams like Chelsea or even Man City, I can understand the Premier League's not giving them the leniency because
bigger squads.
When it comes to cup matches, they soon throw in their under 21s for them. So they're experienced players.
Yeah.
But
the guy that Palace brought in yesterday was Jack Butland. I mean, he was an England international.
Yeah.
He was in the England squad, wasn't he, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah,
He's no mug.
No.
I didn't realise it was him until I watched the highlights when I got home. I was like, oh, because I thought they had just a reserve keeper in, but it was Jack Butland. When I noticed his name on his back when Moore scored that
signed
goal
from Stoke or something, didn't he, the other year? Or earlier in the year.
He's a good keeper. He was linked with us maybe 4 or 5 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for him having the bus driver as their manager, though. Because he didn't really have a clue, did he? He really didn't have a clue, that fella at all. He don't know what he was doing, did he?
Nah. Yeah.
He just seemed to be standing there watching it, didn't he? He was like,
yeah.
They were hamming that up, though, weren't they? We didn't have our managers, so what hope did we stand?
Yada. Jesus.
It won't be the first one. It won't be the first manager that don't make it. It won't be the last to not do it. I mean, you had Gerrard weren't there yesterday. There's been a few, haven't there, this year?
They played well without him as well. Some teams played better without the manager. Remember a couple of years ago when Sherwood got sent to the stands, we played better when he was in the stands, didn't we? So, we didn't need him.
That didn't take a lot of hard work.
He played better when he was left in the car park.
He couldn't get his main point across from the run around a bit. Yeah, tactical genius that he was.
Yeah.
Kev, what did you make of the Palace situation? Anything to add?
No, I think they should be investigated and give them a little 20 grand fine or something to encourage them not to do it again.
Throw the book at them.
Yeah.
They won't do it again, will they?
It's taking the piss, yeah. I thought, 5 or 6 top names are going to be out, and you're hearing all this one's out, that one's out, They weren't. They were all there.
Also, they were putting out on the Christmas Eve that Zaha was injured as well, weren't they? So they were trying to ham up the injuries that they had. And then when the teams came out, didn't they? And we were like, Zaha, I thought he's out for 2 months. So I don't know Zaha's plan. Good job he was as well.
I looked on Physio Room to see what players they had out when I see the comment on Christmas night. And they only had 2 players on that Physio Room out injured.
Yeah.
So if they've got 2 players, then they've either got a very small squad completely, but I don't know.
And a cunt for a manager. Yeah. That's their main problem.
Well,
Jens, what did you make from over in Holland there, the Palace situation? Anything to add from what the guys have already said?
No, it was ridiculous. As you said, they were trying their luck. And of course, with Palace are out of both. They're obviously not out of the FA Cup, but they're out of the League Cup. So it's okay for them. They'll be able to find a Wednesday to play it with us and all of our postponed games. We've got so little time.
And they were hoping they'd get us when we had to play 2 games in 2 days.
Injuries and tired and So I think it's Vieira can fuck off. I hate it.
Yeah, well said, that man. So it comes round to you again, Nick, and as you raised the point, we were saying in the stadium before the game, weren't we? Will Levy sue that Palace journalist for loss of earnings? It was very quiet, wasn't it? We went straight to the bar, didn't we?
Yeah, I think okay, we got there early, but we managed to park right in the front of so we could go straight out of the hospital. There was no queue at Chip King. There was about 18 people that I could have got served at by the bar in the marketplace. It didn't feel busy, but like you said, I think it was a mixture of people not knowing whether if they were going to set off, then the game was going to get called off. I think it was a mixture of other people, obviously it's being Boxing Day and people wanted to spend time with their families. I'm guessing that was probably a reason if they could. It was. I think in terms of, I don't know what Levy will do, but that's what I said. Has anyone seen a tweet since? Because if not, Levy's set the mafia on him maybe to go and take it.
He did put out an apology, but he disarmed comments so no one could comment on it.
Yes,
right. Kim, the C word is okay when it's related to Arsenal players. It's okay. It's a special golden rule. When you drop in the C bomb, if it's an Arsenal player or former player, it's okay. He's put out an apology, hasn't he? But it's ridiculous. He's saying, from the information I had, I'm just reporting the information I had. Yeah, from Palace. He took it.
Levy's already got my money. I couldn't even give my ticket away.
that's what we said to Nick. He won't be so bothered about the ticket situation because everyone's paid. Even if it's on ticket exchange, it doesn't get sold. He's already had his money, hasn't he? Leave it for the tickets, but the concourses, the beer and the food. We said it's a win-win for Levy. So he's got all that beer left behind, which he can sell at another time. But he can sue that journalist for the loss of earnings, can't he? To what he would have got, so he can charge twice for that beer.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
We didn't do an Arsenal though, did we? We didn't say we had a 60,000 crowd.
No.
It was half empty.
Speaking of the price of beer, me, Nick, and Gazza went into the Bell and Hare before the game. It was 2 Amstels and a Heineken Zero, 19 quid, £19. Oh, Foster's, was it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like a strong lager.
No. I think yours was probably a tenner because you were non-alcoholic, and ours was £4.50 each.
Yeah, quite possibly. And to compound it and to add insult to injury, there's a big Spurs Sweden flag on the wall, wasn't there, Jens? Just to piss off Jens, the Danish cohort.
I love the Swedes. I just couldn't eat a whole one.
How much is it in the ground for a pint of lager now? Then
£4.49.
£4.50, is it? £4.49.
Going rate. It's not exorbitant. Yeah,
it's gone up.
Yeah,
You
it's
put
a
it
nice
up
price in London.
29p. Levy put it up 29p. It was 4.29, I think.
So our plans to
I think if you go to the
local
Pride of Tottenham or the Brewers or the Beehive, you're going to get £4, £4.50.
Yeah.
Fuck knows what's happened in the number 8, as they call it now. I mean, they have rooms upstairs as well. I remember going to a game many years ago, and the bar staff are more busy giving the people towels than they were serving beer on a match day.
You know, they've got the where the conservatory bit is, Jens. There used to be like a deck chair and an old bike on top there. They've now got a decking area, so it's like stairs to the decking area. It was locked, wasn't it, Nick? But so I think you can get people up there now. If
is that where you put the away fans when they want decking? What taxi?
Gazza remembered yesterday when we used to be in the garden and some idiot would try parking in there, remember? And we all had to move out of the way. As a car was trying to edge past everyone, weren't they? And there's that day when it was really slippy and snowing, that car was going, "Whee!" And it couldn't get out the bit, could it? And everyone was like cheering.
It was getting hit by a football every 5 seconds when they were playing football in the back.
It used to be great. It used to be £2.50 a can. Then you go up with 5 or 2 cans, bang, there you go. Yeah. Unbelievable. 19 quid. So we said conspiracy theory. It's Daniel Levy bought it because obviously that's where the hotel's going, isn't it? He obviously owns the Beavertown already, which is next door.
Is that where the hotel's going? I didn't realise.
Yeah, it's going that side of the stadium. So does he already own all that land there? Does he price fix into
stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, as he price fixing to push people into the stadium to spend in there. We thought we'd do a bit, didn't we? We're spending local businesses rather than give Levy our money, but 19 quid for free drinks. We're like, right, drink up. We're going in the stadium next.
Yeah, but John, if you're going to moan about him, if you ain't going to buy his beer because you don't like Levy, don't moan when they don't buy the players, because if everyone done that and they didn't get the money, and he's got an excuse not to buy players.
He's got the NFL, he's got merchandising, he's got everything, Alan. There's a couple of beers in. I don't think that's really going to affect the billions that he's making.
But there's a lot of people that say they do it.
Although we also said yesterday, guys,
drinking a club, the Tottenham Gap.
Oh,
losing you
again.
Hello, good point, well made.
Where are you?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello.
Yeah. The Tottenham
That
Gap.
gone again.
Is it the Tottenham Gap? You said drinking a club.
I'm here. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah. We've got you, Kev.
We can hear you.
We can hear you, Kev.
No, he's gone.
Am I gone?
We were saying yesterday, whilst we wait for Kev to come back, that
Am I back?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
I don't know. As I said, it goes in and out, the Wi-Fi this time of night. It's a major fault. I don't know why.
Last word on Spurs, get Ramon Vega cutting in and out of reception, and we get Kev.
It's my boy. He's got his own Wi-Fi dish for picking up, and he gets it every time this time of night between 7 and midnight. It's horrible. It just goes, and we don't get great speeds.
coming online.
That's
Taking all
what
of our
Pornhub
broadband.
does to the Wi-Fi connection, mate.
Same Americans and.
And they've got a Starlink up and running here.
It's Kev on Stell's Wi-Fi.
No, it's satellite. It's satellite broadband. We've got a dish on the mountain.
We always blame the Americans when the Wi-Fi starts going wrong. It's like bloody Americans logging on, taking up all their gaming and stuff. Go on,
So
Jens.
what was this with your Tottenham?
Oh yeah,
Tottenham club did you go to?
Tottenham Gas. It used to be the Tottenham Gas Club, but it's like a social club now. It's on the way towards the North Circular. It's like they've got all football pitches there and everything. And the parking is. I think it's a tenner to park your car on the day. Might be 20 by now. It's 5 years since I've been there, but it was cheap sort of club prices for the drinks and that, you know. But it was nice and quiet.
Like the Irish club.
No, it's just some sort of social club, sports club. Yeah, it's good.
No, I mean the one up by White Hart Lane.
That one, yeah. I know the one you mean, yeah.
That's always nice and cheap up there. I think it used to be £3.50 for a pint of Guinness. And big car park, stroke garden out the back. Yeah. And it was always fun in there.
There's a culture and arts centre as well, isn't there? Just
yes, just opposite,
like a club. Yeah. Obviously,
better there.
Yeah. So we were saying earlier that over the last 20 months, think of the amount of money that Levy's lost on Sunny merchandise, because we used to get a hell of a lot of Korean fans coming over to watch Sunny play, didn't they? They'd like make a trip to London, a special trip over, and the amount of money, the amount of money they'd have spent in the club shop. That's the Levy likes visiting, like what would you call them, like vacationing fans, doesn't he? Because it's their once in a lifetime visit to the stadium, so they spend a shed load in the club shop and stuff. So he must be well pissed off with the borders effectively being closed a little bit, and a lot of Sunny's fans not coming over. Must have lost a hell of a lot of money. Surprised he can sleep at night. He must be in a cold sweat, worried about all that money he's lost out on. So our next talking point, Nick, are you ready? So
I'm ready, mate. I'm ready.
You touched on it earlier. Big Bazza went in Chick King yesterday. It was so quiet. There's no queue there. So big boy Bazza here went in Chick King. What's your review of the food then? What did you make of it?
I've just read what you've done. Well, I would have to say it was more succulent.
Was it?
Than Janine's flaps. It was a nicely juicy burger.
What did you go with first of all?
Chicken sandwich and chips.
Yeah, how much was it? Are we talking here? Was it
expensive? £4.50, £4.60.
What was your dining experience? Did it take long to get served? Were they friendly?
They were friendly. I'd recommend them on TripAdvisor.
I nearly got hit by a bus outside. I was hanging around on the curb, and the bus was coming. This woman was like trying to avoid the. Luckily, I looked around, and there was a massive puddle there, so she jumped back to avoid this puddle. And I looked, and this bus was coming towards me, so I quickly had to jump forward to avoid the side mirror hitting me in the head. Try and style it out, outside Chick King.
We apologise to your mum in advance for Johnny LJ's language, and 2 for me talking about Janine's flaps. So. But no, we got there that early. They hadn't shut the roads off, so LG was a little bit shocked. So the bus came along. He thought he was going to step back.
Yeah. Normally it's all closed down, isn't it? By that time, it must be 2 hours before the game, I guess.
Yeah, good, don't it? Nice.
Yeah, we got there about 12:30, didn't we?
12:30, straight in, straight out. A bit like Janine's flaps again.
Kim's mum's watching. Yeah, I've taken the question down in honour of Kim's mum.
Okay. So, the Queen. In honour of the Queen.
Married to King Arthur.
Flapjacks.
Yeah, flapjacks. Yeah, that's right. We were.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, they were nice as well. Moving on.
Speaking of which, Gaza, we remembered a classic chocolate bar in the UK yesterday. That when we used to go to Tottenham, me and Gaz used to walk up from Seven Sisters Station. We used to stop at the newsagents all the time. There used to be that snack bar, which was in a yellow packet. You used to get the 4 biscuits, like square biscuits, and then we remembered them as we were walking back to the car. So Gaza went in the newsagents round the back near Heroin Meadow, didn't he? And he managed to find a snack. They changed the wrappers. That's why we've not seen them anymore. The snack bar. I don't know if you guys in America and Canada get the snack, but the UK
Gaz,
viewers will
Gaz
know
wished
about.
he bought another one, didn't he? He bought one and then he thought, I wish I got two.
Nailed that one.
That's why he fell asleep. He was in a biscuity, chocolatey coma on the way home.
That's what it was, mate. That's what it was. So the next part of our day, I don't know, you missed out on this, Nick. So where we go in opposite the Beavertown and the Bell and Hare, the bit that you go in there at the top of the stairs, obviously the cement hadn't been laid like level or any floodplain, and there's a massive puddle. So there's a load of stewards stopping you going around the side at the top of the stairs. You know where the club shop is. And then you've got the bit going up. So there's a massive flooding area at the top of the second lot of stairs before the electronic gates. And they'd coned it all off. So we were saying Levy's going to be livid. He's going to be asking for a refund from the old builders because they'd obviously not levelled off the cement properly because it was like in a dip in the middle and there's just a massive pond in the middle there. So I don't know what they're going to do about that because it looked like it was just complete sheer concrete there. I don't know how they're going to in future stop that from happening, but it was a massive flood. And that's right where they did the COVID checks and the checks on your bags to make sure you're not bringing any knives and guns in and stuff. So he's got a bit of a problem there. If it was busier, because it was quiet yesterday, he was okay. But if it's really busy, people are going to have to walk right through the middle of this pond unless he's going to shut bit of the ground down.
We offer life jackets and armbands.
Tottenham Wellington boots to get to the other side. You can 10-second rentals. You can put them on and then walk to the other side and then take them off again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll
Daniel
never
will
get
not
the
be
scoop
pleased
through.
by that. Did your dad mention anything about the flooding yesterday, Kim? I don't know because he might be going in that area of the ground as well, where his season ticket is. It's quite bad. Luckily, it stopped for a few times. So then, when we got inside, we had the shock of the century, didn't we, Nick? Rez has joined the flat cap brigade. he came walking over. Rez has become a flat cap wanker. He turned up, didn't he? It was like a brilliant one. It's like you took it off and it's all like silk and padded inside, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gaz was very impressed with the inside. He was like, "Oh, I like the pattern inside."
Yeah, padding and.
I'm surprised he came and spoke to us.
Did you tell him about
the media whore that he is? So,
yeah. He's feeling under the weather today, Big Al.
Oh, right.
So
I'm starting to wonder whether since I've been on, he ain't come back on again.
No, he's like Maris in Fraser. He's like seen. We discuss him, but he's never seen on screen anymore.
He's the Katie Price of Spurs podcasts, isn't he?
I'm going to try and meet up with you guys one of these years.
We'll be there, mate.
The only trouble is I'm only here on a little scooter. You know, I can't get about into the bricklayers or the Bell and Hare. I'd never be able to get into it because of I wouldn't never get my scooter.
Kim said she had dinner with Rez last night and he's still rocking that cap. What about his manners? If you're eating in a restaurant, you have to take your hat off, don't you? Did he leave his hat on when he was eating? That's terrible.
Yeah, what
terrible manners.
We don't behave like this. What did you, Kim, just out of interest, we were going to come, but I had to get home. So I think I might have pissed Rez off by saying we were coming and then we just kind of ducked out. What did you partake in or eating last night for dinner? Because
I think they were going for China. They were going to go for a Chinese, but one of the guys didn't want a Chinese. I don't know if they did in the end. The big talking points, we bring them all here on Shelfside Spurs. What did Kim and Rez have for their dinner last night?
Fortune cookies.
Rez manners, exactly, Kim, exactly.
Yeah. What did you have, Kim? Would you like to educate the viewer millions as to what you had for dinner last night? Was it Chinese? Was it Chinese in the end? Drum roll.
Just waiting. Like the countdown music. We need the countdown music.
But Kim obviously didn't go to the game, did she? Because she was on Asian Spurs. She was on Asian Spurs.
Oh, was she? She did the watch along, did she? With Spurs
she forgot to press the button to turn it on. It was a bit late.
No.
Kind of button
so they've been talking away. We've done that before, didn't we, Jens? So we were about 10, 15 minutes in, and I looked and I hadn't pressed the go live, and we had to start all over again, didn't we? It was cracking content. It was the best content we've ever done, wasn't it? It's like a hidden album from a band like that never gets released. It's brilliant, wasn't it? Brilliant content. Unless we go into the metaverse somewhere and like download it from the Wi-Fi, it's gone forever. Kim's keeping everyone on tenterhooks there, unless she just doesn't want her mum to know that she had 2 meals last night. She had one with Rez and then one when she got home. Yeah. Speaking of food, takes us to our next talking point. Goujon watch. After Nick's thievery of the Goujons last time, did Gazza get? He got how many Goujons did he get? 4, didn't he?
4, yeah.
Should he have had 4?
No.
No? 5.
No, he should have had 5, and because we got away with it. Not only we got away with the Goujons, extra Goujons, a free drink and everything else. Gaz is on Goujon watch, so he's Levy is definitely rationing the portions now after me and Gaz got away, or I got away with winning the lottery, or the equivalent of a Euro Millions win for free food at the stadium 2-3 weeks ago.
The hot news off the press is that they went for a Turkish in the end.
Nice.
Well, Kim, if we'd known that, we'd have probably come. I think it was more the pizza that was putting us off, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we thought Brian was just going to chuck a couple of pizza, like Chicago Town, those little mini ones in the microwave.
In the microwave, as Nigella would say. Microwave.
Staying on the subject of food, the next point's about food as well. Does anyone know? Our mate Needham went to get to the noodle and naan bar once, and didn't they say, we don't do noodles or we don't do naan? And we're like, it's one of the two. And we're like, aren't you called the noodle and naan bar? They're like, yeah, we don't sell naan bread anymore. It's like, do you want to change the fucking sign?
That's too expensive.
Yeah.
Chicken katsu burger, definitely not the one.
Katsu, yeah, that's the one that goes everywhere, and it gets.
Yeah. It's like that KFC gravy burger, just goes everywhere and is wrong.
And before we go back onto the football, just take a moment to pay homage to all of the Tottenham lovelies that were out yesterday. There were some beautiful ladies out yesterday when they're sporting their Christmas purchases and tops and stuff. So obviously Nick can't say anything because his wife's watching. But the Tottenham lovelies were out in full flow yesterday.
She won't watch this far in, so it's fine. So yeah,
okay. She's long since given up, is she?
The views inside the stadium were fantastic.
We're not consigned to the pitch, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Sounds like a Monty Python sketch. Yes. I think you're about the noodle and the naan, but
yeah, I was talking about the food. I wasn't talking about anything else. So.
Right, as Jens is getting sleepy and I can see his attention drifting off, we'll bring you back on with the next talking point, Jens, as you, and I know you're a fan of this guy. So, Jens, would you take back Trippier if it meant stifling Emerson's game time experience? You think Emerson's only 22, which gets overlooked a lot. He's the same age as Skip and Tanganga, so he's only a young guy. He's getting better and better, isn't he? Would you take a ready-made player like Trippier back, or do you think it will stifle Emerson's progression long term?
Yeah, I don't think I would, to be honest. He was less in the spotlight than Eriksen, but his last season with us I thought was not good. He seemed to be complaining all the time, blaming other players for his mistakes. And his heart didn't seem to be there. I think he kept getting dropped for Aurier, didn't he?
Rested, yeah.
Or rested, yeah. If it meant stifling Emerson's game time, I wouldn't take him back. If he's going to play as backup, then yeah, why not? But he's what, still 30, or he's only 30, and so he's still probably got a couple of years left in him.
Where did this come from? Is it a whisper? Is it a whisper on the go?
No, it is transfer news. Us and Newcastle apparently.
Newcastle, yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
I don't know if it's kosher or not. You know, there's so many rumours going around. It's
Does
silly season
Conte
again, isn't it?
does Conte do long-term planning though? He's all about winning here and now, isn't he? If he's only got an 18-month contract or whatever it is, can he afford to?
Will he suit Conte though? Because he hasn't really got the pace, has he? He never had. If there's one thing that he never had compared to Walker, was the pace going up at the right.
The express pace, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he has got the best delivery.
Slow.
Yeah. He's got a better delivery, but would he be able to get what Conte?
So let's go around the panel then. Big Al, would you take Trippier back?
Well, no, because as I say, I'm like Jens. At the end of the day, Emerson's still settling in, and he's doing a reasonably good job. Yeah, he still makes the errors, but then don't get me wrong. When he spent a lot of years with a 50 million defender called Ian Walker, and he made some catastrophic, isn't it? Yeah, mistakes
brain
that
farts.
cost. Yeah, complete brain farts that cost us so many games. Yeah. You know, cruising against Liverpool, and then he done a pass back from the halfway line.
Yeah, that half volley, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, I'm always reminded of Evra and Vidic when they first moved to the Premier League. The first 6 months they were awful, weren't they? And everyone was like, "Who are these two crocs they brought here?" And then once they got up to the pace of the game, they were brilliant, weren't they, for the next 10 years for them? So he looks to have all the basic tools there, and he's got all the perfect coach to train him up, hasn't he? So I think that's the only thing that I would say. That's why I made the point in the question, because I think it might stifle Emerson's game time if we did bring back a ready-made right wing back. Although I think he seems to want to have two for every position, doesn't he? So obviously it'll be an upgrade on. Is it Doherty or Doherty, Kev?
Doherty.
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 But his teammates call him the Doc. I had this argument with Matt Hayes the other day. He said, just a reminder for all you English fans, he's called Doherty, not Doherty. But I said, why is his nickname in the club Doc? Then the Doc. It's got C in it, okay, isn't it? Doc, not Doch.
Yeah.
The Doch. The Doch doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, I see your mention of that on Twitter, John.
Doherty, I swear, is he a relative of Nosferatu or something? Have you seen his face? God, he looks like Dracula.
What, Doherty?
Yeah, it's completely pale white with the biggest bags under his eyes. He's
no Irish complexion.
Motherfucker.
It's got an Irish town, yeah. All that rain.
Adios, Cody.
White legs.
Cheers, Danny.
I've just started following that Danny. I've just seen him on Twitter. I've been following him.
The disdain. That Danny.
Yeah.
Hello, that Danny.
Yeah.
Danny says, let's get one thing straight. Trippier is a has-been. He's done. Let's not talk about that player because he will never be a Spurs player again. He's not good enough. Conte is too slow. I think you agree with Kevin Allen there. He's too slow. He hasn't got the express pace to play for us anymore, is he? And then Danny adds, he's not going to take Emerson's place, so he ain't going to sit on the bench for us. Yeah, he had a bad attitude, as Jens touched on, didn't he, when he was here last time. He didn't like the rotating with Aurier, and he threw his toys out and ended up leaving. Yes, Kim makes a good point. He's got the haunted look of a gooner, hasn't he? He has.
Oops.
All the social media skills in the world can't forgive him for being a pale gooner. Do they actually like him in Ireland at the moment, Kev? Is he liked in the Ireland national
We haven't got a
team,
great squad at the moment. It's all mishmash. So he's
is he a poster boy? The Dracula poster boy of Irish football.
Yeah, we've got a limited squad of players, and there's a lot of kind of say Irish Africans coming through now in the Irish team. You know, the new Irish, shall we say? They're coming through, and they're good. You know, they're good class, and it's brought a bit of vibrance and a bit of better team. But you've still got the old boys still there, and they're the best we got. You know, that's all we can do. If you know,
it's Troy Parrott still up front.
Idar geezer is he still at Norwich? I think.
Yeah,
Idar. He looks pretty good.
Idar, yeah.
Still quite young.
Yeah.
He played against
the keeper as well.
In the league.
Yeah, the keeper's pretty good. He's getting a lot of great reviews.
He is good. Yeah.
It's a limited squad. We've only got a population of 5 million over here, you know. So England's got 10 times, 11 times the amount to choose from. You know what I mean? So,
To say that,
think-
Kev, we've only got 5 million in Denmark.
yeah, it's not our national sport either. Football.
Okay, fair enough. No,
We don't-
yeah, it isn't in Denmark either. Handball's our
Yeah.
national sport.
we don't keep pinching all the players from Denmark either, though, do we, Kev?
No.
If we pinch Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, is there anyone else? I'm sure if any of the Irish viewers are watching, they'll hit us with the
Anyone that
list.
drank a pint of Guinness and yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did all right out of us in the 80s,
Yeah.
didn't you? Nicking
Goes
Mick
both ways,
McCarthy's and all those guys.
Yeah.
Right, let's just go through here. Just going down here. I think it's that time of the week for actually one last thing. It's time for Kev's Larry Crack. Kev's memories of Palace games from the past. Have you got any? We'll open this out to you as well, Big Al, after we've been with Kev, because you guys have been going for a similar amount of time. Have you got any memories of Palace games from the past? Starting with you, Kev.
They're all these vanilla games normally. They were never nothing great, you know. Terry Venables he had the team of the 80s, that were going to be the team of the 90s and the 2000s, but they just never moved on, you know. There was no standout players, or, you know, they were sort of a yo-yo team at the time, but we never beat them well. And if I went back and looked at the fixtures, I'd find out we drew a lot, we lost a lot, you know. It was kind of like that either way, you know. They weren't that great. I remember I went to Palace 30 years ago on a Boxing Day game. It's the worst thing I ever did. It was 0-0. It was like a 2-hour journey on the train.
Yeah, it's horrible to get to in at Palace, and that's why I never bother applying to go, because everyone says what a nightmare it is.
Yeah.
I've been to Palace twice away.
Yeah.
And the first time I went with my mate drove, and we got over there. Anyway, we beat them. I think we beat them 3-1. Ricky Villa scored a scorcher, if I remember rightly. Anyway, so we were on our way home, and we were all quite happy. Get to London Bridge, stuck in traffic, and my mate had this little touch disc on his window with Tottenham Hotspurs on it, and a load of Millwall supporters walked round the corner, and one of them collared it. My mate drove over the bridge, London Bridge, on the wrong side of the road. Otherwise, we were knackered. Like, there's 3 of us, we weren't big boys, you know, and there was about 8 of them. If he didn't drive on the wrong side of the road over London Bridge, we would have been knackered. It would have been worth getting a fine. Oh, that was scary.
It reminds me, Alan, I was in London once, going to the Tottenham game. I think Chelsea were playing at home the same day, and I've got a sort of a bright blue Tottenham jacket. It's like from the Harry Redknapp era, and it's got the Puma sign there and the Tottenham thing, obviously logo here. And I walked around this corner, and there's a lot of Chelsea fans saying I had a scarf, and luckily it didn't have any Tottenham colours on, and I managed to kind of pull it down just over the Tottenham badges. I was walking past all these Chelsea players. I'd have got a proper kick in, I'm sure. But it makes the old blood boil flow a little bit quicker, doesn't it, around the old body when you get caught in those situations.
Yeah, I was going to say to you the other day, if you'd asked me about the West Ham, because I went to see Spurs play in Steve Perryman's testimonial with one of my mates, and we went down. I don't know if you remember where the Spurs Sports Club used to be, Kev?
Yeah, in the middle, near the main entrance. Yeah.
Well, whenever we used to play Arsenal or any of the boys like from London, and we knew there was going to be a ruck, we used to go in the pie shop, get ourselves a pie, and then we sit outside there and have a watch, because we weren't ones for getting involved. Anyway, so we've gone in the pie shop to get the meat pie, and this coppers dragged me and my mate out. Get out! So we've done as we were told. We got out. Get over there and walk along. And we're walking along, and don't get me wrong, I think I was about 15, 16, and I actually had a Spurs scarf on. And all of a sudden there was these blokes looking round at us, and I was getting some really dagger looks. And the next thing you heard was, "We're forever blowing bubbles." And they'd
Michael
put us
Jackson
in
fans.
They'd put us in with a West Ham mob. We were being escorted away. So if we weren't going to get a hiding from our own, we were going to get a hiding from them. So me and him split up. We went different ways. And I got back down to Northumberland Park, and as I got down there, the railway lines went down. So I thought, I'll go over the bridge. So I goes over the bridge, and as I'm walking over the bridge, there's these 2 lads walking. And as I say, I'm about 15, 16 years old. And there's these 2 lads walking the other way. And they went, "Who do you support, mate?" I went.
You got a choice of two.
I don't like football. I just carried on walked through them. They didn't question me or they ever go at me anyway, but I just don't like football. Went down and waited by my mate's car. Oh, blimey. Scary.
Makes your blood flowing.
Especially over a railway station. If I said one and they didn't like it, I was over the railway, you know what I mean?
I think I told the story on here before. We got off at Seven Sister Station once, and the cops were stopping you at the top of the steps as you come out of the station. So me and my brother came up there. Cops stopped everyone. Shed loads of West Ham fans came up behind us. So the police, there's a big line of police. They were just getting ready to escort them down to the station. Because they walk them for our overseas viewers. They sort of square them off, and walk them down so no one can hit them and fight them and stuff. And me and my brother were stuck at the front here, and it was like with The Walking Dead, like the zombies. West Ham fans coming, and we were stuck at the front there. And me and I had my little brother. He's only like 10 or 11 at the time. I was like looking at the policeman, going, "Oi, mate!" I couldn't say it too loud. I sort of had to discreetly like show him my Tottenham badge, and he's like, and he kind of discreetly let us out of this pack. And as we're walking away, these West Ham fans said, "Oi, John, where do you think you're going?" And I fucking shit myself. I was like, how do they fucking know who I am? John. But apparently it's Cockney rhyming slang for like they call everyone John, don't they? I was like, fucking hell, how do they know I'm called John? Yeah. Oi, John. All right, John, where are you going? Where do you think you're going? I was like, fucking hell. So I got stuck in the pack of West Ham.
The one and only time I went to Upton Park, I used to work with a girl at a hotel, and she
sounds like
Saturdays,
a song.
on Saturdays she worked at a pub called the Central down near Upton Park, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming down." This was years ago, and a couple of years after I'd worked with her, but I was still friends with her on Facebook. And I said, "Oh, I'm coming down to Upton Park. What are you doing?" "Oh yeah, I work in this pub. We're the only pub that welcomes away fans in West Ham." And I was like, "Okay, nice one." So me, Carl Hoddle, and Colin from the British Empire,
Mr. Britas.
yeah, we bowled in there. I was like, "You're right, Shazza, how's it going?" She's like, "Yeah, what are you having?" I said, "Yeah, we have 3 pints or whatever." I said, "So you're going to give us 3 points today?" And it was like they flicked the needle off the record, and everybody just looked round. And so we walked out into the garden to choruses of "We Ate Tottenham" and "We Ate Tottenham," and we stood against the fence. And I think that's probably the quickest pint I've ever drunk in my life. And it was like, "So, should we head down to the ground then?" "Yeah, good idea."
I think, Jens, weren't you with us, me, you, and Gazza when it was I think it was a cup semi-final or one of the finals when we were at Wembley and we went to that pub and we didn't realise we went out to the back garden, didn't we? And it was literally all Chelsea fans. It was me, Gazza, and Needham. Then maybe fucking hell, you kind of drink up as quick as you can and get the fuck out of there, don't you? Mate, if you'd have seen how many West Ham fans there was, in no position to be lowering them, Danny, to be fair. As much as the police guard in front of him was tempting. Yeah, no chance. There's a time and a place. Although one thing that does piss me off, and we'll have a little Reg's rant on his behalf here. And Jens, we've been out there before, haven't we? When the police do escort them down the road, they sing all these anti-Semitic songs, and we'll be running around Tottenham with our willies hanging out, and I've got a foreskin, and the police are videoing them walking up the road, so they can hear them, they can see them all singing, and obviously they are West Ham season ticket holders or members because they've got tickets for the game. How can they let them get away with it? They never do anything. There's never any arrests made for. No, there's never any arrests made for, because that's a hate crime, isn't it? It's and they watch them all singing away, and they think they've got this ring of protection around them, so they start hurling out anti-Semitic abuse and stuff. And obviously, what it winds up, the Tottenham fans are trying to get at them because it's just really pisses me off. The
their mate's still there, isn't he?
What's that?
Their mate's still there from the other night, isn't he? Laying on the floor.
Face planted. See, that's what happens. They wind it all up, and then, the Polish lad that got decked as well when we played Whistle or Krakow. We would, after the game, we were walking out of the stadium with I think we'd beat them. And there's a load of Wishlaw Krakow fans just running around, giving it all mouth, just running, like in the fair in the old days when they was running around waving their flags and stuff. And then literally we went down the road 5 yards down the Seven Sisters Road, and you see two of them just sparked face down. Someone had obviously knocked them out, like in policemen like trying to roll them over and completely knocked out. It's not wise to run down Seven Sisters Road, laring the home fans, is it really? Someone's going to whack you. They think it's funny. They get up right in people's faces, and someone just fucking laid two of them out. Obviously,
that's what happened after the Man U game, and they were chirping down Seven Sisters Road, and I said, "Mate, it's nothing to be proud of. You're beating us, and we were shocking at the time." And I said, "You got spanked 5-0 the week before," and then I said. And they were going, "Come on, then." And I was like, "No, I'm not up for a fight, mate. I'm just warning you, just to keep quiet."
Yeah, our fans were like
100 yards down the road, they all got jumped on. So
yeah, don't take much.
Yeah, mate.
They're still losing 1-0.
Oh, bloody hell. Who scored for Newcastle? Was it Voldemort again, or whatever his name is? The old
Saint Emilion.
Saint Maximin.
Oh, he's a good player, he is.
Yeah.
I don't think now they've got the money behind him, no one's going to be able to lure him away. So he's going to be stuck there, isn't he, really? It'll be their prize asset, so to speak. So to round off our Christmas episode, it's time for the big Jens Christmas quiz, 2012 quiz.
2012?
quiz of the year.
2021, sorry.
Oh.
I'm reading.
Yeah, sorry, chaps. The little one's crying, so if you hear any interference in the background, that's what it is. So.
I don't know about interference. You should be shouting out the answers, won't you, you bloody cheating bastard?
I've got it all written down, mate. Got it all written down.
You bloody haven't. Barry, if you can be the scorekeeper here, and if Jens can't answer, we'll throw it out to Kevin and Alan. Are you primed and ready? Jens, say it's a question about 2021, basically Tottenham in 2021. Mostly this season. There's one from last season because that was 2021, and a classic question. So, are you ready? Are you seated comfortably? Then we shall begin.
We'll begin.
Question 1. Who scored Tottenham's first goal this season?
Sonny.
Correct answer. Sonny at home to Man City, yep. For you trivia buffs out there, he also scored our first goal last season against Southampton away. We battered them 5-2, 5-3. I remember that's when Kane got the 4 assists for him. The previous season, Tanguy scored our first goal against Villa. Remember that?
Yeah,
curling one from the edge of the area. Yeah, when he first joined us. I think it was the equaliser at the time, wasn't it? Because he was like, "Come on, let's get the ball and get going." I think you were there, Jens, weren't you? That one?
No.
Everywhere you go, you're all seeing.
I haven't been to the first game of the season since 2013, probably, because I moved over here in 2014.
Fair dues. Question 2. We famously started this season with 3 clean sheets, which saw Nuno win Manager of the Month. But who was the first opposition player to score against us this season from open play?
Open play. Calvert-Lewin?
That was just pause for effect. Incorrect. Alan and Kev?
I think it's a Chelsea player. I can't put my finger on it.
I'll give you a clue. It was against Palace.
Of course it was, yeah. 3-0. Yeah, we lost 3-0.
First game we lost.
Edward? No.
Correct.
Zaha?
No, you're
Edward.
right. Yeah. But you can see where the confusion lies. Zaha scored a penalty, but the first goal from open play was Edward. Yeah, he scored 2 in the injury time, didn't he? Basically, put us away. So, question 3: Spurs have drawn twice this season in the Premier League. Can you name the 2 clubs we've drawn against?
Everton.
Correct.
And
Kev's got it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
You do know. Kev,
Liverpool.
do you want to pick him out of his misery?
Oh, Liverpool, for fuck's
I know it was 2-2. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Like 10 days ago, right? Yeah.
Give him half a point for the Everton game, Nick. Yeah. Short-term memory is one of the issues of drinking a lot, isn't it? Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
say
can't
that,
remember
but
what I
you-
had for
I've got your name
breakfast,
wrong
but I
there.
can remember what I did in 1985. So.
Same.
That's why I love these quizzes. 'Cause I don't remember nothing.
Same. Question 4. We drew 1-1 last Boxing Day against Wolves. Can you remember who scored our goal? Clue, it was in the first minute.
It was Kane, wasn't it?
A year ago.
Kane.
You going McCain?
Yeah.
It was incorrect. Kev or Alan?
Mora?
No, Alan's out. Kev, last chance to rescue some dignity for Shellside Spurs here.
Sonny.
No. It was old fat ass himself, Tanguy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Oh.
Yeah, first
No.
minute is then he kicked the ball into the ground or something. I seem to remember it was a funny finish, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Tanguy.
Didn't it
1-1
bounce
at
in front of
Wolves.
the keeper, didn't it? I think, if I
That's
remember
right.
rightly.
Yeah, it was a sort
Yeah,
of shank one minute, yeah.
Yeah.
From the edge of the area, there's a shank.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 5. Which I've been raiding the Opta stats here. Which Spurs player has made the most completed passes this season? I've got the top 3 here as well. So,
Højbjerg.
correct. Can you name 2 and 3 for a bonus points? 1 point in the bag, Nick.
Reggie.
No. Another guess.
Dyer.
Correct. Yeah, 2 points out of 3. So Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has got 1,050 completed passes. Eric Dyer 901 completed passes. And third on the list, Kev or Allen. Would you like to hazard a guess?
Skippy?
Correct. 718.
Nice.
Yeah. So Højbjerg's been doing well despite the noise on Twitter. Yeah.
Antagonist,
and that guy behind me.
So 2 points there.
2 points, yeah. Question 6. Which Spurs player has made the most successful tackles this season? I've got the top 3 again here, so 3 points on offer.
Skip.
He's third, with 29.
Højbjerg.
Second with 37.
And Dyer.
Top? Nope.
No? Okay.
Kev or Adam, would you like to hazard a guess? Who's made the most tackles for us this season?
Sanchez?
Quite a way ahead, actually, on 46 tackles.
Sanchez?
No, you're out, Big Al. Big Kev.
Oh, God.
It's up to
Davis.
you to rescue the dignity again.
Davis.
No, Emerson
No.
Royale, would you believe?
Really?
46. Yeah, 46 tackles. Successful tackles as well, where he's won the ball. So, I was surprised as well. But you got the other 2, Jens, so 2 points again, Baz. Question 7. Which Spurs player has won the most headers, they call it aerial duels, in the Premiership this season so far?
Dyer.
Second with 35.
Sanchez.
Not on the list. The top 3, not in the top 3. One more guess for...
Romero.
Nope. Alan and Kev?
Davies?
No. Big Al's out. Kev's crack?
Regulon.
No.
No.
You alluded to it earlier, boys. You're going to kick yourselves. Lucas Moura.
Lucas
Oh,
Moura.
blimey.
The amount of headers he wins, the Hugo quite often clips the ball out to him, doesn't he? Yeah.
I'm assuming
Harry-
defensive headers, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I'm thinking. Yeah.
And then Harry Kane, he comes back for his defensive work, doesn't he? So he's hit 28
Yeah.
headers.
Yeah.
Danny's just saying Romero for every question until he gets it right. I don't think he's actually in any of the lists, Danny, so that tactic's not going to work. Question 8, Jens. Which players made the most interceptions this season?
Højbjerg.
Second with 22. Two guesses
Regulon.
left. Correct. Top with 27. Third
Sonny?
on the list. No.
Sonny?
No. Big Al, Big Kev.
Skip.
Who's third on the list? No.
Skip.
No.
Davis.
No.
Davis.
No. Emerson. Royale, 16. Yep.
Yeah.
Here's
I'm not a stats man, I
don't
have to admit. Sorry.
No. Just, question 9. Which player has been caught offside most times this season?
Sonny. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, just pretend he didn't hear that.
Kane.
Kane is second on 6.
Sonny then.
Sonny's top with 9. Third on the list. I don't think you'll get this.
Bergwijn.
Incorrect. Throws open to the elder statesman above you.
Mora.
No. Kev?
No, it's not coming to me.
1. Bamadeli Ali. Offside twice. Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is a bit of fun for the last one then, yeah. So that all those questions about this season. This is about the Premier League era, which I also got from the Opta stats earlier. Only 4 players have been sent off for Spurs more than twice in the Premier League era. Can you name all 4? So one of them has been sent off 4 times, and the other 3 have been sent off 3 times. Point for each. 4 points on offer. Danny, can you guess them? Don't look at the comments, Jens, if he does put it on there. Cheat.
Sent off. Sonny?
Yeah, 4
Sonny?
players. No,
Nice.
he's on 2, isn't he?
Oh, is it? Okay.
He got sent off against Everton, didn't he? And against Chelsea, was it? Yeah, for that,
Yes.
for the Rudiger incident, wasn't it?
In the Premier League. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's on 2.
Ben Thatcher?
No.
Romero.
Is he going Romero again, is he? Imagine if you were right, Kim. Yes. The one time Daddy didn't say it. I'll give you some nationalities. You make it a bit fun. Let's just see what the comments are saying here. Danny's gone with Stalteri. No. So you got a Frenchman, a Scotchman, an Englishman, and an Argentinian. Sounds like the beginning of a joke, doesn't it?
Alan Hutton?
No.
How many guesses? Is that 4 guesses and that's it? Right?
Just for a bit of fun. So can anyone on the panel think we've got a Frenchman,
Not a clue.
a Scotchman, an Englishman, and an Argentinian? Let's start with the Argentinian. He's been sent off. No, he's been sent off 3 times, and he's a defender.
Foyt.
No, he got sent off twice. He's on the list with 2. Nice curly hair, like someone with curly hair. I can't think of anyone in the world with curly hair.
Someone with curly hair.
Like Ryan Mason.
I so curly.
Did you? There you go. Like curly hair. He did, yeah. Like Jens and Alan.
Curly hair.
Don't know.
Same first name as our former manager that took us to the Champions League.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Rico.
I can't think of his name, but he got sent off against Man City.
Tarico.
Or one of them.
Tarico.
Correct answer.
I was thinking
Tarico.
Tarantino. I was getting it wrong. I never see the face.
Tarico, yeah. So you got next one. He's well, that would be too easy. He's recently joined the club as a ambassador. So Danny, you've got an Englishman, a Scotchman, and a Frenchman left. Englishman, he's recently joined the correct. Barry Dawson. Sent off 3 times.
Is he?
Yeah. Yep, Danny's got it as well, and Kim's got it. So you've got a Scotchman and a Frenchman left. Here's a clue, Jens. We watched, I don't know if you were there, we watched one of the FA Cup finals in the boot and slipper in Amersham with this guy, the Scotchman. Sent off 3 times for Tottenham.
No,
He's got his first name's got the same initial as his surname. No, it's not Hutton.
Colin Calderwood.
Correct answer. Well done. Yeah, Colin Calderwood sent off 3 times. Now the Frenchman.
He's in the boot and slipper.
Yeah, we watched him, Colin Calderwood, and Duncan Shearer. If you remember the former Swindon striker, ginger Scottish guy,
Okay, yeah.
Duncan Shearer. Yeah, they watched the one of the FA Cup finals at the boot and slipper.
Nice.
Alan Smart used to live opposite the old former Watford striker as well. So
Yeah.
I think they were mates with him. Yeah, so the Frenchman, don't look at the comments because Danny's actually got it. Yeah, as Jens is looking at the comments. He looked like a bit. Here's a clue for you. He looked like a bit of a tranny. He had beautiful eyelashes.
He scored the equaliser in the 4-4 against Aston Villa.
He did.
125th anniversary.
Yeah,
game.
100.
Kabul,
Yeah. Yunus Kabul sent off 4 times. He's the player that's been sent off most for us in the Premier League era. Yunus Kabul 4 times. I can't remember him getting sent off once. But there we go. So he's been sent off 4 times. Let's have a look at some of the comments before we move on. Yeah, exactly. You could have used an even better clue there, Jens. He scored the winner against Arsenal at the Emirates. And Danny, that's the game which got me a PlayStation 3, I think it was at the time. We're 2-0 down at half time, and I bet on us 44-1, £10 to win 3-2. And so thanks to Yunus Kabul, I got 330 quid and managed to buy a PlayStation 3 at the time. So thanks to that man, I got a PlayStation 3. He was a hothead. He had all the raw materials to be a great player, didn't he? Quick, tall, strong, good in the air.
Concentration.
Nah,
He's one of the first
similar to Sanchez.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he made him a captain, didn't he? Poch asked the squad who they wanted as captain, didn't he? And they as a piss take, they chose Yunus Kabul and Adebayor, didn't they? So he just gave them enough rope to hang themselves, didn't he? And they were like the first 2 out the door. It is indeed class. So I was doubly happy because we'd beaten Arsenal at the Emirates, and I got 330 quid. Put a tenner on there. Another betting story. Luka Modric scored against Arsenal. I can't remember. It was obviously Real Madrid against Arsenal in some kind of game. Arsenal were, I think, 2-0 up, and Real Madrid came out to 2-1. I thought, they like a little story, don't they? Club rival players playing against their, former rivals. So I backed it was to score the next goal. Luka Modric, I think it was 14-1. About 10 minutes left in the game, and he popped up and poked it in. So 140 quid thanks to Luka Modric, the little rat. Even though he left us, coming to repay my pocket for leaving, to the tune of 140 quid. Danny says, he didn't have any concentration, consistency. He reminds me of Sanchez. Similar. They switch off, don't they, too often? I don't know if they get distracted or whatever. Is he still playing? He's going to be quite old now, isn't he? He went to Portsmouth, Sunderland.
Is he in Turkey or something?
He was in Sunderland, wasn't he? So that's the end of the quiz. How many did he get, Nick?
Well, it was out of 20. It was out of 23. Because I didn't know.
In honour of Stephen Berg won a shirt number, I thought I'd deliberately do it out of 23.
Christian Eriksen, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
He got 10.5 out of 23. So. Quite poor showing from Jens, if I'm honest.
Well, I got 1.
Yeah, you got 1. Kev got 2, 3.
Yeah, so between us, it's about the same as Jens did on his own.
Yeah, not good. So back to modern day football. What are our predictions for Southampton away and Watford? I'm not sure if we're doing another podcast after tomorrow. So we'll start with Southampton. We'll go around the table. Big Al, Southampton tomorrow. What's your score prediction? And roughly, who do you think he's going to play in midfield? And
Well, I think it could be Winksy and you know what? I tell you something, I'm losing memory of the names there.
Højbjerg, Deli.
Well, I think Winks and Delia will be playing tomorrow. I really do. I think Davis will be back. I wouldn't be shocked to see Doherty as well chucked in at the right back. I don't know if he's doing full rotation because of the amount of games we've got.
Southampton have just had a great result against West Ham, so they'll be on a high. So I think we need to go strong. But
Can off the Irishman, no chance.
I think the front three will be definitely be the same for front three, with perhaps Dele Alli will be sitting more in midfield.
Don't you think he'll go 3-5-2?
Yeah, in which case Dele might play in the three.
Yeah. Be more left out then. So.
I don't think Ward-Prowse is particularly aggressive or heavy tackler, is he? So Winks could shine in that game.
Just need to close him down. Close him down, and then you can take over the game.
Delivery. Yeah. So what's your score prediction then, Big Al?
Fancy a small 2-1 win for us.
Who's getting our goals?
Sonny the first and Kane the second. Be the front. They're tearing them apart like I did last year.
Get down the bookies and you can get yourself a PlayStation, son. Kev, what's the crack? What are you going for?
Yeah, more of the same, I think. I think Davies might come in for Reggie. He might slip in Winks. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I think you're going to keep the core of it the same. And I'm hoping for a 3-1 win with Kane getting 2 and Sonny getting 1.
Do you think he might put in Rodon at some point for Dyer? Because he said Rodon's the Dyer replacement, isn't he?
I don't know why he's not using him so far. It's an odd one. I'm confident about Saturday as well. We were talking about Saturday as well. I'm quite confident about that as well.
We'll come back around to that one. We'll come back around to that one, Kev. Yeah, we'd say we've got a 2-1 and a 3-1 for Southampton. Jens, Southampton?
I'm not 100% sure we're going to see Davis at wing back. But I'm not sure. Maybe he'll play Doherty there. I think Davis is pretty much nailed on to play centre back now, and if he puts him back out on the wing, I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, obviously. Although Sessegnon was in the training videos the other day, so I think he's back a bit quicker. So they might be able to.
That'd be brilliant because Sessegnon showed some decent touches and some decent form in the last game he played. Yeah. So
with his injury history, that might be a bit too much of a risk to try him if he's only just coming back, eh?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
You think he might play Doherty then, left wing back?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Like he plays for Ireland.
Yes, yeah. I think he was only there on an emergency cover though, wasn't he, Kev? Or does he do that quite regularly?
He does, yeah. He plays there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, attacking.
So,
attacking that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a possibility. I have a feeling he's going to give Dele and Winks another run out, and also I think it might be Kane and Bergwijn up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling because Conte's been going on about Bergwijn playing as a striker.
He rested. We gave Kane half an hour rest. There's no point giving him that rest if he's going to, start with Bergwijn. So I think Kane will start definitely.
No, I mean Kane and Bergwijn up top.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
In a 3-5-2, and maybe give some rest.
Maybe
if it doesn't work out, put him on 60 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your score prediction?
Yeah, I think it'll be a 1-0. Off the back of Hugo's arse.
2-1, 3-1, 1-0. Kim's gone 2-0 Spurs in the comments. Barry, the big man. Basmar, Star General.
I said it. I said it on. Sunday. Sunday? No, yeah, yesterday was Sunday. It's Christmas. Is that awkward time between Christmas and New Year? I don't know what bloody day it is. I think someone's gonna get a hiding, and I think it could be Southampton. I think if Winks and Ali are playing, and we start how we started against Liverpool, I think it could be a 4-0, big 4-0.
For local bragging rights, hopefully it'll be Watford that get a battering ends just for Steve's purposes. We always come along and smack Watford back down to size, don't we? So hopefully we'll I was hoping it'd be West Ham, to be honest, who would get the battering. So I think it will be Southampton or Watford. Hopefully it'll be.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
sure
it's
it'll
going to be 4-0.
both away.
So Barry's gone 4-0. I'm going to go Southampton. They can be quite shaky. The way how quick we are on our transitions and stuff. We remember last year when Southampton kept getting caught on that high line to us. I think we've got all the tools to score a few goals against them. So I'm going to match up Kev, I think, with 3-1. Danny's gone 3-1 Spurs as well. King Arthur's gone 3-1 Spurs. What's your mum's prediction, Kim? Was she blocked us and banned us after the effing and jeffing earlier? Big man talk, Nick. That brings us on to the Watford game then. Big Al, Watford game.
Well, when it comes to the team selection,
score
prediction. I think I'd rather do score prediction.
Go on.
At the end of the day, I think it's going to be a small 2-0 win.
Watford.
2-0 win.
Yeah.
Yeah, just saying. The trouble is they're going to be sticking every man and his dog behind the ball. So we've got to break them down. They're going to hope to catch us on the counter, and we've done our best at the moment when we've been countering. And I don't see Watford sitting. I can see Watford doing what they've done to us at home, sitting, putting every man behind the ball, and then hoping to catch us on the break. So 2-0 on Gamble.
2-0 goal scorers. Well,
Kane does like Watford, the sun likes Watford, so I'm going to go for them again. Kane yeah.
You're going to have 2 PlayStations at this rate. Kev, the Watford game. Do you think he'll rotate
another 3-1? I think.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll rotate his pack or go fairly strong?
I don't think he rotate that much. There might be 1 or 2 slipping in and out. That's all. I think.
If we got after Watford then, because Watford's Saturday.
Chelsea.
Is it Chelsea
in the Carling Cup, haven't we?
Yeah. Is that on the Tuesday or the Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they want to keep a few players back for that one. So I think Watford we might see a few. We might see our Delis and Winks again and Doherty's.
Yeah.
We'll see. So you're going 3-1 again?
I'm going 3-1 again. The same scorers again. Yeah. Kane 2. Sonny 1.
If it ain't break, don't fix it. Jens, Watford game. In an ode to Steve, your best mate.
Well, because it's Steve, 15-0. No, I reckon it's going to be close again. 2-1.
2-1. Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I don't think. Do we? I seem to remember having said this before. I don't remember that we score a lot of goals at Watford. But then again, and maybe I'm just thinking of a few years ago on my 40th birthday when Son scored the winner.
We had a 4-0.
That little back heel thing.
Yes, yeah.
You were there, were you?
No, I wasn't. No, I was in London. I didn't go to the game. It was celebrating with a few friends, and it's. But yeah, I think we have spanked them at 4-0 or something like that. Last time out, was 2-1, wasn't it?
Last time we played
at our place.
At their place.
At their place, it was 0-0 the last time we played them.
0-0, was it?
Yeah, Loris saved the penalty.
Okay.
But a couple of years ago, we did actually beat them. I think Kane got a hat-trick, and then Deli got the other one, I think.
Yeah, well, I remember being there, sat in their end when we played them, and we beat them 6-3 in the League Cup, I think it was.
Nice.
Alan, they scored early. Very early, and they were all jumping around us. And we were at home, and there was a load of Watford fans in with us, including Steve. They went 1-0 up, and then I think Alan Nielsen scored a couple when we beat him 6-3. That was a great day out. Dave wasn't very happy, but
Yeah. Well, I was behind the goal when Hoddle scored that magical goal. When he dummied it and flicked it over.
My first ever Spurs game was at Watford. We lost 1-0, typical. A lifetime of heartache forevermore. That's when Graham Taylor was in charge of Watford. And my mum obviously knew I was a Tottenham fan and sent me along with her friend who's a Watford fan. So we lost 1-0. The second time I ever went to see Tottenham was at Watford as well, and we drew 1-0. Clive Allen scored a penalty. Was that 1986? I guess it would have been 85 or 86.
I think before the age of 16, I'd been at Watford more than I had Tottenham.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But luckily for me, it was Tottenham games as well. So, as Kim says, what a difference a few weeks make. The guys on We Are Tottenham TV were saying earlier they can't see us losing, where our next loss is going to come from. But it's the space of a few weeks.
Morecambe in the FA Cup, probably.
Probably, yeah. There you go. That's where Doherty's going to get his game. Doherty, Galini. They'll probably play against Morecambe, won't they? When's that? Is that the Saturday after Chelsea? Is it?
Yeah. Saturday before
should be on the
next Chelsea game. Yeah. Then we got tough games.
Jens, is it 70? You're sticking with 17-0, are you, or are you going for a more realistic?
No, 2-1. I said 2-1.
2-1. Nick?
I think there's going to be a lot of changes because, like we said, we got the Chelsea game coming up. So I'm just gonna go for a cheeky little 1-0. Not that I'm not confident. I just think that we'll have one eye on
our legs. Yeah.
We'll have one eye on the Chelsea game. So obviously it's been a run of a few games in a few days. Cheeky little 1-0 and maybe I don't know, maybe a little skip pile driver that he gets it on.
Thunderbolt, top left. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how much that'll get you, but it'll probably get you more than a PlayStation 3 or 5 or whatever it is.
If I could buy one.
Ferrari.
Probably get you £1 million. So
just not a red one, Alan. It's not a red one.
No, not a red one.
No. King Arthur's gone 3-1. Arthur's missus has gone 4-1. I think, unless that was the previous one. I'm sure she's going 4-1 for the Watford game as well. Kim, you haven't done your one. Danny's going 4-1 to Watford as well. And Kim says Skippy's due one. Has Skip scored yet? I don't think he has he?
Not that I recall, no.
No. Obviously, the first 3 games were ropey 1-0s, weren't they? Sunny, Bergwijn.
I've got one in Europe.
I don't know if he has. No, I've closed down my Optus Stats website. I don't think he has got a goal yet, but he needs to add that to his game, doesn't he? So it's a tough run of games after that, isn't it? So we've got Southampton tomorrow, Watford Saturday, Chelsea Wednesday, Morecambe Saturday, and then it'll be the other leg against Chelsea, won't it? In the week after
that. Then we've got them in the league, and then we've got them in Arsenal.
Gooners as well.
He scored once for Norwich, but he hasn't scored for us yet.
Saving it for the North London derby, isn't he? Or to send us into the...
Our furthest trip in January apparently is Watford. The whole of January. That's our furthest trip.
That's great minds think alike. He's saving it for his North London derby, isn't he, Danny? A couple of years ago, my friend's got a membership at Watford, and it was when we were playing Tottenham. So I applied to get a ticket in the Tottenham end, didn't get it, and she said, "Oh, you can use my login to book a ticket. There's still tickets available in the Watford. Just use my login. You can book wherever you want in the stadium." So I was thinking, years ago, I went to watch it, and we were behind this one goal. So I thought, right, I'll book in the corner, right next to where the Tottenham fans are going to be. So I'm fairly near to the Tottenham fans anyway. They've only fucking changed it, haven't they? So they flipped it around. So I was right in the middle of what they call the rookery. I'm like, what's in there? All these fucking big flags and stuff. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And basically Tottenham were down the other end of the stadium. So literally Watford scored after about 2 minutes in the game. So they were like, and I was sat there, just not the only one that wasn't jumping up and down and moving. So I got literally outed as a Tottenham fan after about 2 minutes of the game. I was like, I could feel all these eyes boring down on me. And then we equalised. I think Sonny scored after about 20 minutes. The game was 1-0. That was the only 2 goals. And Watford, especially the family club, aren't they? You know, everyone's second team, you know, nice and friendly, you know, like a little Bambi club. The racial abuse I heard them giving Sonny, unbelievable. Some of the things that I heard them saying there, terrible. After that, Watford aren't the family club, trust me. Terrible lot. Going on about DVDs and, you know, like West Ham fans do all that kind of crap. Terrible. Just because he scored against them, basically. Kim agrees Skippy's going to be the North London derby hero. Yeah, so I think that's going to conclude matters for tonight. We've gone on much longer. Originally, we were going to do 7 to 8, weren't we? So that we were done by the time Tottenham away started at 8:30. But here we are, 9:30. Blimey.
That's your fault for breaking down.
Technical issues, LJ.
Dodgy laptop.
Dodgy laptop you got for Christmas.
Technical difficulties. I need a new laptop. I need Eunice Kabul to score a winner somewhere in the world, I think. I'll look where he's still playing. Give me a new laptop. I've got a massive crack on my screen. I can hardly see what's going on. So on that note, would you like to say goodbye to the viewers? Thanks everyone for watching tonight, all the comments. Quite a lot of you in
thanks everyone.
Kim Arthur's watching, Arthur's wife as well, Kim's mother. Danny, just going through quickly here. Scott came by to say hello. Yeah, Mr. K as well. Going through up the top here. Cody at the beginning of the show, wasn't he? He was involved as well.
Yeah, he booed his mum and dad out, didn't he? After we beat them yesterday.
He did, yeah. They're Palace fans, aren't they? So they left apparently, didn't they? After the second second goal, I believe. Yeah. Cody tweeted a picture of their car. They actually left the house. They drove off home. They left and Cody said he didn't actually say anything. It was just the cockiness in the air from him. They just left. Kim says thanks for the entertainment. Danny enjoyed as usual. Cheers for the comments, Danny and Kim. And we'll see you. I don't know when we'll see you actually. When are we going to do next? It depends if we do one after Southampton or not, or whether we wait to do the Southampton and Watford. I don't like doing 2 games together because you always forget the one that's the most farthest away, don't you? You tend your mind taken up by how the players have performed in the Watford game, and we'll forget about the Southampton game. So we'll try and do one for the Southampton game on its own, but you never know. So let's hope the Saints don't go marching on and the Hornets are squashed, and we're reconvening here next week with 6 more points before we take on Chelsea in the Cup and then the FA Cup. So see you all later. Bye-bye.